Hey guys, Huzzy here, bringing you another video, this time on Lucian AD carry. Now, yep, Lucian is the new champion, and I wanted to get this kind of commentary out relatively soon. So yesterday I did some ranked games, this one being a solo queue, and then I did two others with Gals, the duo partner, and I played Lucian every single time, and I will say I won all three games, and I quite like him, but quickly I will say that there's going to be this commentary, which I'm going to obviously give away what I feel about Lucian throughout the video, but there is also going to be a separate video on my overall thoughts of the champion. So, where do I think he's going to be in competitive, his item builds, his runes, masteries, kind of like a mini guide I'm going to do for him, but it's going to be kind of like first thoughts, that type of thing. So that will come after this commentary. So, anyway, to get started, they have a Blitzcrank, and obviously having a Blitzcrank means they're probably going to invade in any ELO, and I always like to counter-invade. So you can see in chat people saying they're not going to invade, but always in my mind I think they are. So I take W level 1 as the invade is coming through. I could have taken Q because they did line up there, but I wanted to take the W for the movement speed. On hindsight, I should have probably taken Q anyway. Obviously I will say, this was my first ever ranked game on Lucian this season. So you'll see how I kind of play him, and yeah, there is room to improve, don't get me wrong, but this was Diamond 2, Diamond 1 level, and I do an okay job, so there is a team fight going crazy right now. I pick up 1 kill myself, pick up 2 assists also. Now at this point many people would back, and I don't blame you, it would be a perfect decision to go back and base, but I decide I'm going to stay in lane. I've got Lifesteal Quints, and basically all I have to do is make sure that I don't die early, because that will just ruin my advantage I got with this ward. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to get the CS wave, and I'm going to push the hell out of it really quickly. So 1, it's at their tower, so they can't use the Blitzcrank advantage, and 2, I'll get early XP. I'll be ahead of my lane opponent, and that will be really, really good. So Lucian he's a high mobility AD carry. Many people have been trying to merge him with other AD carries. You know, where did Riot get their inspiration from? So obviously there is a bit of Graves in him, with his E as being kind of a Graves that gives him the movement speed, cleanse type thing instead of the attack speed, which honestly I quite like. His Q I think is quite unique, but it's honestly kind of like a Quinn's Q combined with a Piltover. And yeah, without the blind effect, and yeah, that's kind of what I would imagine it would kind of be like. And his W is kind of unique to himself, and his ultimate obviously being a mobility single line MF ult. So what do I kind of think of Lucian? And obviously there will be the separate video, so I don't want to say it too much, but what do I think overall of him as just a tiny first impressions? I think he's really lackluster. Now, by no definition, Lucian is OP. Now, we are going in for a little engage here, trying to kill the Ashe. We get kind of nice damage on her, and you can see Lucian does not do bad damage. So as they're trying to kill the Leona, I'm going to continue poking onto the Ashe just to get her low, basically just to deter her off my lane opponent. But yeah, he's by no definition, Lucian is OP. None. Now, we're going in for another engage. Really good landing of spells by my Leona right now. Really well done. So we get the lane pressure right now. I think Ashe may have to go back. So I think I'm going to freeze it somewhat, or we might decide to push relatively soon just to get it to the tower so I can go back. But yeah, he's not OP. His ultimate sucks. There is a couple things Riot could do to make his ultimate work, but that I'll say one of them, but I do have other ideas. My biggest idea, or one of the biggest, is make it so it could crit. Each shot, make it so it could crit, because on Lucian his ultimate scales from attack speed. I think it does scale with AD, but if it could crit as well, that would be really, really good. So that's just an idea. Obviously there is others in there, and that will be in the next video. The video might come out later today, if not tomorrow. So yeah, expect that to see on the channel relatively soon. So we've got 1100 gold right now, and Lucian, as I said, he scales from attack speed really, really well. So you are looking to get quite a lot of attack speed items on Lucian. He's a good chaser of somebody, especially with his W passive. His W passive, for those that don't know, if you have someone marked with the W and you keep auto-attacking them, you will get movement speed. It's a really, really good passive, and basically it makes Lucian, a lane bully. He is probably one of the best lane bullies in the game, and I would probably describe Lucian as the new Draven. And what I mean by that is Lucian is very good in lane bullying. As I said, I've played 3 ranked games right now. It's not a huge amount, but it's a relatively an okay amount for someone that is Diamond 2 to make an opinion on it. Nearly Diamond 1 right now. So he is a really good lane bully. And what I mean by he's like the Draven has never been great at late game. He's never, scaled amazingly compared to a Vayne or a Kog'Maw. He was an early game bully that built his advantage just to beat down his opponent. And that's what I think a Lucian does. Blitzcrank coming in for a grab, and I just use my dash basically to avoid it. We don't really want to go in for an engage right now, as there is a lot of CS under the tower, so I'm just going to last hit as well as I can. Now, obviously in this game, I might have missed a fair bit of CS, as I said, this is my first ever ranked game with a champion, so I'm a bit unaware of, exactly all of his movement speed effects. Now, we are moving in for the kill onto Ashe, so I do use my flash to try and get in. Now, here's one thing that I do quite well myself. I know I'm saving my Q, and I know I can line it up. Bam, line it up and get the kill on Ashe. I did that on purpose. Now, you could say in the comments, oh, fluke, but if I put the stream sound on right now, you would have heard me going on the lines of, oh, I need to line this up, I need to line this up. Blitzcrank got in the position for me to do it, and I timed it really well. So, good play by myself, and this is the kind of play you will see from Lucians. It's kind of like a Varus Q snipe, but it's even harder with a Lucian, because you are making, or you have to force your opponents to make a mistake, and that's one I think a Lucian excels in. If you are someone that's playing really well and you're forcing your opponents to make mistakes, Lucian is really good in that fact. Now, quickly, I want to talk about his ult a little bit more, as I have been watching I'm a Cutie Pie, which obviously is he's one of the best AD carries out there. That stream. There are others that are better than him, I'd say, but they just don't stream. And Cutie Pie is entertaining, that type of thing. Now, Nautilus is moving in for the Cassio kill. I don't know why he didn't go for a little bit sooner, because she was lower health. She was regenning with potions. He does flash to try and get the kill, but I think Kayle moves in. Now, I stopped my character, and I have no idea how he stopped there. But yeah, I resumed my movement, so that's a bit annoying that a couple seconds I was just standing still. But yeah, Lucian, I can't remember what I was saying. Was it something with the ult? I think it was something with the ult. Yeah, his ultimate. Oh yeah, I'm a Cutie Pie. I'm good at this. He has been playing Lucian quite a fair bit, and his rating of Lucian is pretty much the same as mine. Lucian, by no definition, is OP. He's kind of below balanced, and what I mean by that is he needs to get slightly buffed, and that is really rare for a new champion in League of Legends. Now, what I mean by this, he does not need any pressure from his Q, W, or E. Leave them, they're perfect. They are really, really good right now, and I'm actually really happy. So, as you can see, every single lane I've played so far, I have won the 1 to 5 fighting. But when it comes to ultimates, other AD carries have so better ultimates than him. Even Severe has a better ultimate than him, and that's saying something. His ultimate is so lackluster. Yeah. Now, the mechanics of it are fine. The only problem, because it is a hard spell to actually make use of and hit, it should actually do more damage than, less. Obviously, there was the problem in the beta when it did a lot of AP damage, but yeah. There is a fight going on right now. I do get grabbed, which is annoying, get knocked up, but now I'm using my ultimate. You can't really see it properly, but I'm using my ultimate just to kite a little bit back. That's the thing I like about Lucian. No matter what position you're moving in, you can always do damage. Now, here we're moving in for a little bit more engage. I've got to be a little bit careful, so I'm just using a bit of Lifesteal just to regen. Lee comes in, I get a double Q, and then the Leona stun comes in, and then I get a triple kill. So really early triple kill. So right now at 8 minutes 30 odd, I am 502. So that worked really, really good for me. And I've got nearly 1,800 gold in the bank. So right now I'm extremely fed. And yeah, this is... I don't want to say you'll have this every game as Lucian, because it was very well played for the Nautilus counter-ganking there. And yeah, it was overall a very good gank. But you can line them up. And so many times in team fights, you just pick off a kill because someone lines up in the perfect position. Imagine 4 people lining up. You'll hit all 4 of them, then you get your W on them. That's a lot of AoE damage, and that's a lot of mobility for you, because you'll be getting the movement speed off the W. So yeah, Lucian, you can tell I'm a fan of him. The only problem is, his ultimate it sucks, and I'm not even going to hide away from that. I'll mention that in the next video, but yeah, it sucks. Now, Leona is making a nice comment saying, finally, an AD carry who knows just to follow. And this is a point that, I'm typing it right now, but I want to make supports really do win the bot lane. They really, really do. They apply the pressure. They give you sustain if they're in a sustain champion. They ward for you. They do everything for an AD carry. An AD carry just sits there and last hits. That's it. We don't do much as an AD carry. The support wins the lane. And if you're an AD carry, you have to remember that. Treat your support like a god. It's just... it's just the mentality a lot of people don't have right now, and I have it every single time I AD. You know, when I AD carry with Galzuk, and in the next video you will see another, a couple of clips from the other games, because I will include a little bit of them. Gal supports me, and I think he does it on Nami both times. Nami works very well with Lucian, and he wins the lane for us. I'm not even going to take credit. You know, a support wins the lane, and they should win the lane for you. It's just the way it is. Anyway, we are looking to get a kill on them. I think Leona said she had Ignite, and I'm obviously extremely fed right now. Already got my Blade of the Ruined King at 10 minutes, which I think is probably the best item for him, but we'll see after the nerf of Blade whether it is still good. I would suggest it would be, but maybe not for first item, because you will be lacking quite a lot of damage. Now, I am last hitting still. We're denying quite a lot of farm for her. I think she's occasionally using her W trying to snipe a creep or two. So there's another W. She actually doesn't pick up any. Now, we can't have one of these commentaries without the old Twitch. That old freeze has missed a Leona ult. So anyway, you can kind of tell what happened. Now, I E, and that Ashe ult was bad. And yeah, I E'd at the same time she fired it. So if I didn't E, then it wouldn't have hit. But even if I delayed my E a little bit, that was such an easy dodge. And this is why I think Lucian is going to be good. I had my W up, I had the movement speed running, but then I also had my E. He has so much mobility, it's unreal. Like, compare Graves to Lucian. Graves and Lucian both have the dash, but Lucian gets the movement speed, so Lucian wins. It's not really a competition. You know, Lucian is one of the highest movement speed champions in the AD carries anyway. Obviously, there is Quinn there with Pigeon form, but I don't really class Quinn as an AD carry myself because her kit, it just doesn't really work in AD carry for me. You know, having a melee spell as an AD carry, I would never opt for that myself. Anyway, we are looking to base right now, and they are looking for a little gank. So yeah, and one thing I have to say about Lucian with his W, he's actually pretty good if you don't know how to land skill shots, or if you're bad at landing skill shots, because it fires a 4 spike direction thingy from it in all the northeast, southwest, and yeah, it hits them all with the same damage, I believe. So yeah, he's a really good champion for those who aren't very confident with skill shots. Now, there is something going on around mid lane. Blitzcrank has moved up, but he's left Ashe by herself. So we may be looking to try and get a kill relatively soon. I've got ult in about 15 odd seconds. Obviously, do realise that my ultimate does no damage. And after doing these 3 games on Lucian, and I went very strong in all 3, won all my lanes, one thing I have to realise is you kind of have to think it as a Caitlyn. And I'm not amazing at that when I do play Caitlyn, is you've got to know exactly when an auto attack, when you have to auto attack and when you have to ult. And this is going to take me time to learn, but I think I will be playing a fair bit of Lucian. You know, he's not bad. He just needs to get better. And you can win a game with any champion in the game as long as you play it well. Like Heimerdinger, you can play him in Diamond 1 and still own. So yeah, it's just the way it is. But I would recommend, to improve your chances, play the better champions. Like right now, if you're looking to go up in ELO and you really care about your rating, I wouldn't recommend playing Lucian. I would recommend just keeping to the champions that you know more and are generally better. When Lucian gets buffed, and I think he will get buffed, yeah. And one thing, yeah, I'm on a chair when I base. I have no idea why I'm on a chair. I got no idea. So yeah. Anyway, go back to base, pick up my tier 2 boots, and I'm thinking, what am I going to buy right now? And Lucian scales off attack speed, so I am looking to get the attack speed item, so there's another one. So my build right now, I wouldn't recommend copying it completely, and I will say that throughout this game. Do not copy my build, because I am very ahead, and I'm experimenting this game, and I'm seeing what things I can do. I eventually will get a set build out there, and in the next video I am gonna, theory craft a very good build for you. Now that I am coming into the team fight, I get exhausted, but I throw my ult down. They are lining up, but I don't have my Q up right now. I pick up one of the kills. Now, as you can see, I'm on normal cast right now, just seeing where I can actually land my Q, seeing if I can do anything. I do land it on Ashe, but unfortunately she does actually move out the way. If she lined up, that would have been perfect, but she didn't. So going to push the wave as quick as possible, probably thinking I want to take the tower relatively soon, I'd imagine. Now the minion is running away from me, come back. Yeah, use the Q, not worth the mana cost, as Lucian's mana costs are extremely high. Ashe wants to base, so I'm basically just stopping her. I'm totally right now, so not a good position for a Lucian to be because he is very heavy reliant on mana. And, well, I would actually say one more thing. Obviously, I don't want to repeat myself in the next video too much, but if Muramana worked on Lucian's ult, that would make him such a better champion already, just from that item alone. Because his mana sucks, like it's such high cost that he doesn't have the regen for it. I know some people are running 21-6-3. I'm personally not. But yeah, it's just get tier on him, then Muramana would be great, but I've already got it in a custom game and looked if it works, and it doesn't. So it's annoying, but what can you do? I'm looking to do Dragon right now. Me and Leona have started it. Nautilus and Kale are on the way. I believe the enemy team have lane swapped the Yorick and the Cassiopeia, as basically both of them, I think, are generally getting beat. Maybe the Cassio and the Kale are a bit more even. Now, I have no idea what these guys are doing right now. Ashera comes in, but I'm basically tucked in the back here, being completely fine in my own little bubble. So double kill for Kale right now. Yorick moves in. Look how much tunnel vision he has on that Leona. He runs through the whole entire team. His ghost comes up, so I'm just going to poke his ghost. I'm not going to continue for kills because I'm happy with what we got, and that's just being a little bit greedy. So I basically just distract his ghost. It's going to go down any second, and I get it off the Kale. So I did my job relatively good. And basically, as I said, I want to get the bottom tower, so I'm going to push it and going to continue for the tower. Now, Kale and Nautilus do pick up the Ashe, but then I think a wild Cassiopeia appears, which is a bit annoying. That gives her a couple more kills, as she's actually very, very strong right now. As you can see, she's killing both. I did start to move to try and help, but no, there's no chance. I don't want to give her another free kill. So yeah, overall that was a very good fight for us. We got the dragon, we got bot tower, we got top tower, one of the towers other than thingy, and we got like 4 kills or 3 kills. I can't remember the exact amount. So I pick up a Zeal, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to buy next. So I'm kind of just thinking I buy a pickaxe, which the pickaxe right now in my thought process will probably either build into an Eye Edge or a Last Whisper, depending just what, state of the game. If I continue to get really, really, really fed and have a lot of gold, then it'll probably go into IE. But you'll see the build actually changes. As I say, I have no set build right now. I am totally experimenting. And this is something that I do when a new champion comes out, even in ranked. As long as I'm doing well, if I wasn't doing this well, I wouldn't experiment. I'd kind of stick to the build I know. But yeah, you may as well experiment when you're going up, but make it sure that it's still, legitimate. It could work quite well. And people will ask, how do you know if a build will work? Well, it's kind of just experience. You just kind of know. When you know League of Legends inside and out, no matter if the champion's new or old, whatever, you should know how to play that champion very well, I find. So yeah, it's just something I kind of know in my heart, I suppose. That's probably an odd way of saying it, but yeah. Now, we are really overextended, but we do have very good vision. Blitzcrank has overextended quite a lot. There's a grab from him. It totally misses, and Leona picks up the kill. So Leona is now on a killing spree. I don't mind her taking the kill, because right now I'm 607 with 125 CS. A lot more than Ashe. I'm a lot richer than her, so I don't mind right now. I do take the level 2 ult. Now, here's one thing that Cutie Pie says, and I think I was touching on this earlier, but I didn't finish it off. Cutie Pie does not take Lucian's ult until level 14-ish. Could be level 12, but around level 14, that is only level 1 ult for him, and then he'll level it straight up from level 14 to level 16. That will be his ultimate, all at 3. That's how useless Cutie Pie thinks his ultimate is. He'd rather have the lane pressure with his other items. So, yeah, that's a big thing. It sucks. So I'm going to pick up the double golems. I think we're just going to wait in a bush, seeing if we can just take a pick on people, see even if we can just pick them off and kill them. Now, for what they don't know, they don't know we're in here, but their red buff has just come up. Blitz, I was surprised he didn't actually ward this bush, but their red buff has come up, and Ashe and Blitzcrank have started to do it. And if you look on the minimap, Nautilus is moving in. Good Leona ult coming in. I use my ultimate just to absolutely bombard the Ashe. Pick up the kill, manages just to fit it in the gap, and I think I pick up the final kill on Blitzcrank. So double kill for me. Red buff is there. I ping it, and I get it. So awesome. Good reactions by the Kale stopping that attack, and yeah, really nice double pick there with the red buff and more map pressure. So Leona, again, she's saying very good things this game, as well as myself. Support wins bot lane, but wards win the game. That's true. That's a pretty good statement to say, your HuzzyGames 2013. But yeah, it's a good statement to make. Wards really do make or break you. They can deny vision for an enemy, so you won't get ganked. And this is one thing that people don't see in lower ELOs. They are very oblivious to the fact that wards are the biggest thing in League of Legends. Vision. So yeah, it's something that is a difference between the ranks, and you know, people do ask me all the time to do a video, what is the differences between, say, bronze and gold? Well, wards is one of the biggest ones. Cassiopeia is on a killing spree. I engage on the Ashe. Now here is something I do very bad. I should have flashed that arrow. It was such an easy Ashe arrow to do, and yeah, that sucks. Now, I don't want to draw too much attention to what Kale is saying in chat, but yeah, I advise nobody to go on that way of life, I suppose. Not trying to offend anybody, but yeah, don't. Especially don't play League of Legends if you're in that frame. We are looking for an engage. Yorick is here, randomly. I don't know why. His top lane has a fair amount of minions pushed. Now, I am trying to attack move as well as I can, but he does flash on top of me. If he didn't have flash, I would have survived that and actually would have probably picked up the kill. Now, here's where I experiment more. I pick up a Zephyr. Now, Zephyr is an amazing item on most AD carries. You know, Vayne, double lift builds its second item, and etc. You know, it is a brilliant item. I pick it up on Lucian, and I kind of had it in my head because of two things. Lucian is a really good champion mobility-wise, and movement speed is awesome for him. Now, quickly, I want to say, I have no idea right now why Kale didn't ult him. Now, he did say in chat that he kind of has a reason, but that is a really bad reason, and it's a pathetic reason. So I have no idea why he didn't ult him. It still would have been easy to do. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. So right now they are slightly getting back into the game a little bit. They are picking up kills where they shouldn't. We're not really grouping. We're not playing as a team right now, where we have been in the past. We played very well together. So we want to get that back. We want to probably start grouping. Now, Kale does find the Blitzcrank. Now, I will say this Blitzcrank does not have a very good game. I think he was mid-diamond odd. But yeah, people have bad games in every ELO. It's not something you can just black out. Everybody will have a bad game. I have bad games. I'm not going to have perfect games every single game. So yeah, it's part of League of Legends, let's say. So right now I have a lot of attack speed. 1.7 at this stage of the game is quite a lot. Having all three of my attack damage, you know, my items, Zeal, Zephyr, and a Blade, all doing attack speed. Now I do use my ultimate because I was expecting him to jump on the wall. I probably would have picked up that kill with my ultimate, but Kha'Zix picks it up. Now he does steal away Dragon. Now, as I said, they are slowly picking up kills here and there, which is really annoying. They should not have got that Dragon. I don't know how they got it. Cassio is being a nuisance, and as I said throughout the game, she is incredibly strong right now, stronger than you'd imagine, and we're basically just going to ignore her and use the positioning power. Now, she's totally out of position right now, so we're just going to tunnel mid and try and kill as many towers as we can. Kayle right now should not be bot lane. The minions have already pushed there, and she should be with us right now, completely. Now, we do pick up 2 towers for this, but we are in we're in an okay position. We are going to pop the Yorick, I think, but Cassio is extremely fed. Yorick didn't want to go down there, but he does go down eventually. But Leona gets basically kited the wrong way, and she's totally out of position, so that isn't great. And bot lane killed the Kayle. So, as I said, Kayle should have been bot lane with us. I don't know why she wasn't. Cassio is looking. Now, right now, I turn at the wrong time. Now, I'm still alive right now. I basically moved into, and I'm not moving. Now, some people say, why aren't you moving, Hoz? Why aren't you moving? If I moved, I would have died straight away. I needed to continue attacking for lifesteal. That's why I did it. I was constantly attacking, trying to get my lifesteal, and I actually survived quite a long time. Now, I do mention it in chat, saying we just need to group, and that's pretty much it. Kayle, no way should have been bot lane. And I don't know why she was. She got killed, and the minions were already pushed, so that was just a mistake on her part. So right now I could finish the Zeal, but I don't think I do, because having the Zephyr, it gives me enough movement speed for now that I don't really need any more, and I need to build more attack damage right now, and that's what's going through my mind. So probably building a Last Whisper next is probably a good idea. Now, the problem with my build right now, I would say, is I do lack quite a lot of attack damage in the fact that I don't have a Bloodthirster, I don't have an IE yet. So saying that, if I wasn't this fed, I would not be doing this build. As I said, this is kind of an experimenting build, and in the video where I do a kind of an overview for Lucian, I will be going over kind of like a build like this, because I think it is actually a pretty good build, because it's surprising how much damage I will do. But I will go over more a generic build that it would just suit any situation. If you're fed, you can do it. If you're not fed, you can do it too. Now, Kha'Zix is bot lane. He's going to clear that wave. It is relatively pushed already, so he doesn't technically need to be there. But yeah, we are probably going to start looking for a team fight. I pick up the red buff myself. I'm going to move in from the side or just behind the tower and try to push it out. Now, my ultimate does... One thing the ultimate does do very well is wave clear. It is awesome at doing that. But you don't really want to use an ultimate for wave clear generally. Now, as you can see, they do have quite a lot of poke. They have the Cassiopeia that's doing a lot of damage. They do have the occasional Yorick Ghoul that is doing also quite a bit of damage, I suppose. Good little bind onto the Yorick. Now, I do get Lee Sin comboed, I guess, but I'm just basically going to kite him a little bit. I use my ultimate backwards again, just to make sure I'm constantly doing damage to him as he's running at me, and we kill the Lee Sin basically for free. Now, you see the Kha'Zix has actually evolved W, that right there. I think that's questionable, but it's working relatively well for him. I suppose he probably wanted it for the sustain against a Yorick in lane. So, yeah, that's an okay thing to do, I suppose. Now we are looking again for another little engage. Cassio goes totally out of position, so we're just going to absolutely instant give her. But then Yorick gets a pretty good ghost on her, or got, you know, ultimate on her. So yeah, she is still alive. I pick up the final kill with my blade actually there on the Yorick, and I pick up a double kill with my Q. So there's the team fight, and as I said, all we needed to do was group, and that's pretty much the evidence of that. Pretty much just a total wreck in the team fight, only Kale going down with the four of us, being, you know, relatively low, I suppose, but in the end of the day, it's still too good to people survive. Good tanking by Leona. And Lee Sin is moving in for the, you know, kills and stuff, trying to save the town. Now, this is a funny thing. Leona flashes in and then get instantly kicks. So yeah, Leona's a bit confused of how she died there, but she literally got instantly kicked in the face when she went in. And then we do pick up the inhib, which is awesome. Got double buffs for myself, and my ultimate is back up. The ultimate is actually at a relatively low cooldown. So that is one good thing, I suppose, but it still does like no damage. Now I've got 2,500 gold in my bank. Now they could do Baron, and that's kind of why I'm pinging it. Now I was just seeing how much he was actually, you know, would it cost. I just pick up my Last Whisper, and I sell the Doran's Blade for another pickaxe, which I think that one will eventually build into the Last Whisper. Not the Last Whisper, the Infinity Edge. So right now the game is going very well for us. Kills wise going 36 to 22, with myself being involved in 26 of these kills. Now that is pretty unheard of as an AD carry, as generally you're not really involved, or generally you don't have many assists, but I have a lot of assists this game. Now I was looking actually to try and kill the Cassio right now, so I use my ultimate, trying to line it up as best as I can, but this does actually enable us to kill the Lee Sin, so that was relatively good. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Lucian's ult, it seems more of a distraction than anything. That they think it's going to do a lot of damage, but in all honesty, it doesn't. So maybe it's like a bluff ult. It looks awesome, but sucks. Now, obviously, I am using the hired gun skin right now. I haven't mentioned it. A lot of people say they prefer the default skin, but I have to say I really like the hired gun. Its spell effects I really like. It's just a generally, you know, nice skin. Now. Obviously, I picked up the bundle. Now, again, I will say, obviously, the new Hecarim skin came out. So I will be hopefully doing content on that relatively soon. Now, we pick up the Baron there, which is awesome. I wasn't actually expecting us to do the Baron, if all honesty. I was expecting us to bait a fight, but we just do it. We do it really, really quickly. Lucian does a lot of damage to Baron. Now, here's a good position for me to use my ultimate, but then Cassiopeia and an Ashe arrow comes onto me. Half health, and I'm just going to try and regen it as much as I can. They are still moving in to try and get a kill. Lee Sin tries to block stuff, but he doesn't realise how squishy he is compared to us, and he basically gets an instant give down. And then we're going to move into your kill. So, bam, KS. Got the kill. So right now I'm 12 to 18 with over 200 CS. So overall, a very good game for me. As I said, I'm actually doing fairly well at Lucian. I know the community have said that people aren't doing very well when they have a Lucian. They're not looking forward to it. And I've actually had that in Champion Select. People going, oh, I've never seen a Lucian win. But yeah, I'm doing actually fairly well. I'm going in for the crazy kill on the Ashe, but it does no damage. So unfortunately, I don't manage to pick that up. So anyway, this was Lucian, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, there will be another video of a overall type thing on Lucian coming up soon. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.